upping the capacities like that, let's see how things develop. I mean, Shanghai is like crazy full with people, honestly. That said, it seems, wow, 120 people waiting at a stop. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna buy another 2 buses for Shanghai. Wow. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on the Transport Fever 2 campaign with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to beautiful, beautiful China for what is still the last and ultimate mission on the entire campaign. We were, in the last episode, already working on a fair bunch of these goals, because we do have to currently work on getting some goods delivered, getting tools delivered, and getting food delivered to the respective cities that require these goods. So we started work on that. We're going to continue work on this today, and pretty much just see what comes from that in terms of other missions, because I'm sure there's going to be more tasks to take care of for us here. But before we get started on that, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. We're currently quite hard trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every single person just truly helps out a ton. So thank you very much if you did that. And with that out of the way, let us go and pick up at the old status quo. So, in general, we do have the side goal here as well of importing goods from the Shanghai port of export too, which is technically just 100 goods, but the thing is, all the cities that really require these goods are pretty much all on the other side of the country. And, well, I mean, it's not quite ideal, really. Not quite sure how we want to move on that. I mean, other than that, we've got the tools going here to that city that I still cannot spell, and to Shanghai, so that should be going slowly but surely. We've got food going, really just through an airport, which is kind of like, but you know, it's starting to go. The only question is, how do you want to do the thing now with the goods? I'm kind of tempted to just go and get some sort of long distance truck going to move it all over. And then on the other hand side, I mean, that does also kind of feel like a very inefficient way of doing things. Like, if we maybe look at the road depot here, 90 kilometers an hour. I mean, these things do have some halfway decent capacity, but 90 kilometers an hour is in the end maybe not too terrible, all things considered. I mean, if you consider, honestly, if you consider just how much we are paying for the trains, and that they are like maybe 35 kilometers an hour faster with the best train carts, I think. Maybe we do that. Maybe we actually do that and we connect Suzhou here up like that. Then we can start kind of delivering goods or importing goods that way. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Suzhou is going to keep requiring these goods even if we've got this main mission done. So we can still add on like a train station, or even just, honestly, we could just do a truck from here to Fuji too, because it's quite close. You don't even have to like build some separate railways and stuff. Should keep the cost down a bit on the infrastructure, because I mean, honestly, we've already spent 650 million out of the one bill that we had, which is quite crazy. I mean, we didn't really get that far yet. But I mean, worst case, we can always sell things, right? Still quite crazy. But then we just do that by road, and I think that makes sense. And then we just kind of see how fast that gets us somewhere. Now, this road here is in fact quite interesting, because it's this like one-way sort of road thing. What I would be intrigued by is if that's like a country road or a highway, or what that is. I guess it's a highway. Seems to be a medium highway right there. Interesting one. So this has a speed limit of 80 kilometers an hour. Oh my god, okay. First things first. We will upgrade the highway. We cannot upgrade the highway, so we will delete the highway, because that 80 kilometer highway is absolutely useless if that means slowing me down by 95 from the 95 kilometers an hour rather than I could do. I don't want to have that. I honestly don't really, I mean, yeah, I kind of get that highways are kind of a one-way thing, and maybe you can steer traffic a bit better that way, but I mean, in general, unless you have some crazy interchange like that, I don't really see a reason to use it. You know, that this way, you know, you can manage traffic a lot more efficiently, probably. Which, honestly, you know, I'll give you that that's probably a good idea. But at the end of the day, you know, when do we really get that much traffic that we've got to go this far? You know, if we were playing something like SimCity, City Skylines, stuff like that, you know, sure. In this case, I don't really see the use for it yet. Maybe, you know, it'll become more apparent as we go. Who really knows? But let's see. Now, right here, we can't really make a change. So right here, it'll have to be kind of 60 kilometers an hour. But what we'll do then is we'll just kind of draw a large country road off of this one, which is going to allow our trucks to go max speed. We're literally just going to ignore this entire construct here. Could go for some sort of different bridge if we really wanted to. In general, though, I don't think it makes difference in terms of, like, the speed that these things can go. It's really more of a construction cost thing. So I think just, you know, it'll look bad, but in order to keep the construction costs somewhat low, which, let's face it, a bridge of that length is going to be expensive. Weird. Oh. I guess in order to make... No, that's not due to bridge length. What is happening here? Why is this... What in the world? Why is this sinking into the sea? I'm so confused. Can we just, like, level this? No, the leveling drives it into the sea. I'm very confused. Let's do it like that, then. And, yeah, ideally not do that, if we can, at all. So we'll do something a little like that. 10 mil like this, Jesus Christ. And we'll kind of try and just get a tunnel going here. Yeah, that looks good to me. We'll get that pulled right on through, but like not digging down any further basically. We can even already go up a bit and then kind of just go here. And then, you know, just go level. Beautiful. Bring that all the way around these lakes and all the way over to the city. And that's that. Easy as this. You know, it doesn't look great, admittedly, and we've kind of just cut this thing off on top of that, but if it works, it works, and, you know, we can get to work on that secondary objective, so all fine by me. We'll just kind of, you know, do a city into Vuji up here too, so we can get that going, and then we'll work like that. Alright, so with that done then, let's go and, first things first, maybe set up some depots and all, and then we'll get the lines going. So we'll just use the simple bus, no, not the bus tram stop, but the truck station presets here. Don't really need anything wildly customized or anything. Okay, just slap that in front of the distribution centers, and then in Vuji we can place a truck unload stop here. We could place a second one there just to ensure that we're delivering to everything, but let's do it. Why not? We could at least try and make that line profitable, right? With all the other train lines and stuff being wildly unprofitable, we may as well try and make some money somewhere. Now, over here in Soju, we only need 1 point, so that's fine and beautiful, and then we'll just spam the lines. No naming as per usual, just, you know, in order to save time, don't really need it in these campaign missions, I feel. And, with a little bit of lag, those are good to go. Now, what we will actually need up here in Vuji, I guess, is going to be a road depot in order to actually buy some of these trucks. So, let's go and get that going. We're going to build, not build, but buy some tarpaulin trucks. Doesn't even need to be too many. I think 4 should be totally fine for this specific route, just because it's quite close. And, you know, I guess, well, demand is somewhat significant, but production is not that crazy yet, so you're all totally fine in my mind. And then we've got a road depot over here, which I'm not going to use, just for the very specific reason that I actually want to get going with that second. No, actually, we are going to use it. I was going to say I want to get going with this secondary mission as quickly as possible. What you do have to keep in mind is that this this port does need to start stacking up some resources for us first. So if the trucks drive right out of here, by the time they get to that truck depot, there won't be anything there for them to carry anyway. So we can just save ourselves the money under the road depot. I think we can just buy the trucks over here, and then at least by the time they get there, there will be something for them to carry. Now, over here, we'll make it like 8, and we'll see just how far that gets us, I guess, when they actually start transporting things. Oh, yeah. Now this is maybe a bit of an issue. Let's go and actually connect these streets up, I suppose. How do we do that now? Maybe we do a little something like... No, that's not possible, I guess. That's also not possible, I guess. Oh, God. Collision? What do you mean? Oh god, of course something like this does have to happen, doesn't it? What sort of collision is happening here? I don't see any sort of collision. Construction not possible. Construction not... What in the frickin'... I mean, that one's possible, of course. Just like going the other way, he's causing a collision. Yeah, so as you can see, all that works beautifully. Didn't really feel like wasting the trucks that I just bought in there. Why is this a collision? Why is that a collision? I mean, maybe it's due to like the heights and all again. God, why is this so... Street is just weirdly placed, is it? Why is the construction not possible here? Oh my god, game! I was gonna go for this as like the nice and easy solution to the topic, and then... Oh my god. Help. Okay, we are just gonna waste some money before we spend more time on this issue, honestly. We'll put a road depot there, and we'll sell all these things again, and just... I don't even know, like, what in the world. Sometimes I'm, like, very confused by this stuff. Anyways, so, as I previously said, we're going to start with 8 trucks here. We're going to see just how far that one gets us. And, well, then, let's see, you know, worst case, we can always expand on it. But what we have to keep in mind here, this port actually has quite the good production capacity. I mean, it's a baseline of 300 with, like, a lot of levels to come. And Suzuki does have a half-decent... demand too, so we'll certainly be able to make a little bit of a something work here. That's 120 of a rate. Given that Suzuki's already at 157 required, I think we can go and just like add 3 to kind of pre-provision, make some money, you know. We've got to make some money somewhere after all. Well, that's the import line good to go. And well, now we run into the aforementioned issue of this thing actually not really stacking out much of anything. The shipment rate is going up, but it's not placing much of anything there. Oh no, now it is. Yeah, so, well, this will slowly but surely be going up, I guess, and then things will actually get to work on our import number here, but overall it should hopefully be fine. Now, in terms of this, let's just maybe quickly check if we're actually finally moving some food, because I'm kind of becoming a bit impatient here. It doesn't seem like we've... Nope, now we've actually delivered some, and it seems that the planes are properly filling up. The question here may be being, how much of a rate do we have going on the food? Now is the time where actually having a name on the lines would help. I've only got a rate of 55. I feel like that may be a bit low, to be honest. Sure, we don't really need that high of a rate, because, you know, at some point we can just kind of lay back and say, okay, we've delivered 200 and it's fine, we don't need to hit a specific rate target. But if it is only 55 of a rate, by the time we get to 200 we will be old and grey. So you know, try not to do that. And I'll go and buy one more plane, And that should get us to a comfortable rate of 100, and with that one I think we can work a little bit better, honestly speaking. Especially since that very well actually matches the production figure right there. In terms of tools, we are at an insane rate, which we can't even remotely take care of with how much this thing produces, which is interesting, because I guess these lines are wildly unprofitable there too then. The interesting part here, the local public transport is actually profitable, while everything else is wildly unprofitable in terms of interregional transport. So, very interesting. I mean, you know, I get it. Maybe we should just kind of start shortening these things a bit. Well, we'll get a bit of money back. And, you know, at the same time, the profitability should hopefully rise a bit from that sort of change. Wait, I'm kind of confused right now. Am I shortening the trains and paying money for that? No, right? No, we're earning money. Okay, I was gonna say that would be wildly, I don't know what to call that. That would be crazy. But yeah, so just gonna go through the lines and remove like a train car each. Probably, honestly, it's the same way of doing this would be like removing two, or just selling entire trains and letting one train run both, well, run from between two cities instead of just one. But it is what it is. We'll just kind of, you know, shorten the trains a bit. And they're still going to be way over capacity, but at the same time, you know, at least things will maybe make a bit more sense, hopefully, and we'll lose money at a little slower of a pace, because honestly, the speed at which we're burning money is currently the thing that concerns me the most. You know, we've made a lot of investments as well, of course, but just burning money that crazily is kind of like, yeah. I mean, look at these figures. It's insane. And the rates as well, they're absolutely mad. Like, yeah. At the same time, some of these lines actually seem a bit overfilled. That said, seems we're already done with import. Very nice. Secondary mission already taken care of. We can very well live with that. I'll keep things running just to kind of deliver all the other things out. But, quite crucially, it feels like, in terms of public transport here, we can actually expand a bit our transport capabilities, and maybe at the end of the day that also helps to make these lines a bit more, well, the train lines a bit more profitable, if that means we can ferry some more passengers those ways. So let's go and see which other lines are maybe very full. Pretty much any public transport line is overfilled, to be honest, which is quite insane and remarkable, but, you know, I'll take it, I guess. We can just go and add, like, 2 buses to each line or something. This one here is like a... Oh, boy. That one. And we've got Nantong right here. We'll just add 2 buses to every line and see how that, you know, makes things develop. At the end, I'm not too concerned about the individual, like, bus line profitability. We are in the green, so even if we lower the profitability a bit, we should still be quite good. But, you know, the objective, of course, more being that we actually get people to the train stations, and that way make money with the train. So, honestly, if we, like, lose 500k on the bus line, I don't even care. The more important point for me is that we actually get people there to get our trains a little more into the green. So, upping the capacities like that, let's see how things develop. I mean, Shanghai is, like, crazy full with people, honestly. That said, it seems, wow, 120 people waiting at a stop. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna buy another 2 buses for Shanghai. Wow. Jesus Christ, that is just insane. Okay, I mean, you know, we'll work with it. You know, we'll handle that, I hope. And let's see, we will have to kind of try and get some of these numbers on the bus stops down a bit. 80 people right there, 100 people right there, 28 people. Jesus Christ. Okay, well maybe we do have some potential there in the end, and we just kind of need to work on things a bit more. Make sure that public transport is working a little better in some of these places. I mean, Hangzhou here seems wildly overfilled too. But I don't want to do things like do the expansion too quickly. So let's just see for a quick minute, I guess, just how these increases in public... Ooh, hello, camera, thank you. How these increases in public transport capacities play out for us. And then, you know, if numbers are still high, we can always kind of counteract things. Looks as though in general we've kind of fixed things a bit in Shanghai. So let's see how it is for the rest of places. For now I think we're going to keep it that way. That said, we are nearly at all the food delivered we need, and
well done. Growth
there we
has
go,
been
I guess.
channeled in the desired directions. Now it's necessary to plan further urban development. Make the necessary decisions with respect to the emphases to be placed. Two options exist with respect to further urban development. Focus on the needs of the residential population, or focus on the needs of industry and commerce.
Alright, so urban development sounds interesting, right? I mean, it's going to be kind of a bit of a question if it's going to be another sort of good that they require from us to be transported, or if it's more going to be like in the realms of public transport versus goods logistics. So given that we've got quite a decent public transport network going, also like in terms of like buses and all, and we've got all the trains going, I think we're going to say focus on residents, because my hope is that at our current status, that's going to be the easier one for us to tackle, but let's see.
You've made your decision. The decision calls for the respective entities to grow on an appropriate scale.
I see. Reach size of residential area 5,000. So like 5,000 people? Or what does that mean? I guess so, right? 5,000 people is what I kind of have in mind. Target population 660 here. 750 here. 840. I mean, in general, it kind of looks like we can pretty much just fast forward time and the cities are going to grow so hard that we should easily meet the targets. Is that literally what it is, or is there anything else to it? No, it looks like it's just growing.
Measures involving
Okay, we do have a second
technology
mission though.
enable inhabitants' movement patterns to be captured and recorded.
Oh, that
Option
sounds like...
exists to monitor the urban population.
That sounds like a beautiful idea for the privacy of each and every one of these inhabitants. But, you know, let's accept it, I guess.
Monitoring inhabitants on public means of transit calls for a long period of lingering at the stops.
Create a crowded stations value of 80%. Value 90. Well, I guess all our stations are quite crowded after all. Which is a good sign, honestly. I mean, we need to start transporting more people so we don't burn money at this fast of a rate, honestly. I mean, this one especially is like 5 people on the freaking line. Like, what in the world? But, I guess that's an instant pass? Or is it too crowded? I mean, we're at 91%. Maybe it's just like that the game watches this over a longer period? I'm not sure. I mean, we're above 80%. Doesn't need to be spot on 80%. Because in that case, you know, I'm probably not going to be able to lower that, am I? Oh my god, Shanghai. What in the world is going on with you, mate? Jesus Christ. This city is so crowded. I guess we're buying another 3 buses. Holy moly. These are like big buses too. It's not like we've got some small stuff going on here. 102 in here. I guess we're just spending more on public transport, honestly. Does make a lot of sense for me to invest that way. And, you know, if it spurs growth for us, especially in our train transport lines, why not? Hangzhou feels like a bit better off, and I think it's generally growing a little slower. Not quite sure what the reason is there, but, you know, we can kind of just accept that and only put 1 bus out there. Suzhou here, feels also still quite crowded. I think we're going to throw another 2 bosses at the issue. As I said, I'm not going to be that particular with like getting to the exact amount of bosses here, because, you know, in the end, it's not the bus lines that I want to be profitable, it's the train lines that I want to make the money from. Nantong feels quite okay, and Wuji, we don't really have a public transport network in, so, you know, that's good. I guess we're just going to leave that as is. It's fine. It's totally fine. That said, the residential areas are growing quite nicely. The station stuff, I don't really think we can tackle here. Oh my god, look at Shanghai, there's so many buses. The city is literally just flooded with our buses. It is absolute insanity. There's so many of them. But you know, in the end that kind of reflects in rising amount of passengers and stuff too, so that should hopefully help. And, well, let's see. All the cities are growing, so I think this value should be easy to hit. Stations are just rising and rising and rising in terms of waiting values, so never getting back down to 80% there. But otherwise, I think we are on a good path. So, well, I think we can end it off right here. I will, in between episodes, kind of just wait for the stuff to grow a bit further already. Try and make some more adjustments so we don't lose all the money and actually get into some sort of halfway profitable space. And then we'll get back in the next episode when we're close to reaching that size, and we'll continue on our tasks. So let's end it off right here. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. As usual, if you did, make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.